Alright, so this is a heavy VGRG little guide put together. So you pretty much your basic fundamentals for living in clumps and just playing on point. This is where you're prioritizing having this build and you'll get the most benefit out of it. So obviously, needless to say, 5 pieces of heavy. You need every one of your pieces to be heavy to make the perfect heavy set. You can run a shield if you want, you can't use it, but I think it will give you more weight, maybe a bit more resistance. But ideally, for a VGRG, you can't equip it. With a flail, of course you can, but VGRG, magical weapons. Now ideally for this build, you're going to be stacking Shirking Fortification and Slash Resistance. Now the way you do for Slash Resistance is a perk called Slash Conditioning. I think 2 is really good. Any more than that, then you're just fucking, it's really nice. Really helps you out in your build. So the first I have is Shirking Fort, Freedom, Refreshing. Freedom right now is in a very basic spot. It's not stopping staggers and it's not stopping knockdowns, and that's what we are getting hit by most in the clumps. So it doesn't mean it's going to be the best. I think it helps, but doesn't need to be stacked. And in heavy, we automatically get 20% for just being in heavy. That's one of the perks of being heavy. We get, what is it? Incoming crowd control duration 20%. So that's, that's 2 pieces of freedom basically, give or take. Because freedom is 10%, or is it 12? 12%. Basically 2 pieces. Artifact for heavy, there's 3 you can go. You can go Void Darkplate. I recommend it is the best for survivability. You can go Freedom Pants if you're a freedom enjoyer, then you don't have to roll freedom in your gear. It pretty much gives you the max amount. Or you can go Mag Gloves. Mag Gloves are probably one of the best for spamming your Void Gauntlet and getting as much abilities out as possible. However, you do lose 50% of your damage, so that's up for you to interpret. And yeah, for all these pieces, Void Darkplate, you can farm it in the First Light or Elysia dungeon for Bestial. Drops from the last boss. Run M2s, get a group together, be fast. Tempest is Mag Gloves, same principle, run M2s. Will drop on M1s, just a lower chance. There's a high chance you can get a purple on an M1 compared to an M2. M3 obviously have the highest chance of probably getting it, but it's an M3. Who's running M3s? I'm not a PvE elitist right here. I think Void Darkplate overall, aim for that one. Really good, wait for the Elysia dungeon to come up. Chuck on Slash Conditioning or something else of your preference. Slash Conditioning I think is really good. Maelstroms and a lot of great axes are the things that are killing you in the clumps right now when they bomb you. Enchanted Wood is another perk you can have. As long as you got around 2 of those, then you're fine. You can definitely chuck in and build if that's what you gotten from a dungeon or your friends rolled for you. Refreshing's always going to be good. Cooldown reduction's always going to be good. It's not best in slot, but for myself, I like cooldowns, and I don't run Mag Gloves, so this helps me out a lot. Slash Conditioning, always helpful. Yeah, these are the wrong pants. Shirking Fort, health I think is fine, just chuck on a few pieces there, here and there if you can find it, good on the market. It's always usable. Again, not best in slot, unless you're probably running 5 and you're just a really heavy... I think it's better the higher con you have, but it's preference. For perks, you 100% need, well not 100%, it's good if you run it on close. You don't have to have Unending 4, but just let you know that this 2 second after leaving the ice will slow them still for 2 more seconds. Because they have the Unending 4 little purple stuff on them, they're still being slowed. They hate that. So if you're coming through a fort and you got this shit on you, and they don't have any cleanses, they're hating themselves, and you have a chance to stun them in that 2 seconds with a heavy attack. Ideally, I'd probably like to drop this and maybe get a Slash Resistance or Void Resistance. That's a little thing to help you as well. There's still a few Void Grad Axes running around, not many. Second perk that you must have on close, that this one is a must, you can't even argue it. If you do argue it, you're playing VGRG role. Nullifying Oblivion. It's too strong right now. Literally removes Shirking Fortification, and a lot of the players right now are running Shirk Fort. It's great. Freedom again, don't have to get it. Shirk Fort, it feels nice. Yes, this perk can remove it, but it's also on a very low cooldown, lower than Nullifying Oblivion itself, unless they have Mag Gloves. So there's a chance you'll get it again before they can put Oblivion on you. Alright, now for your weapons, you don't really have to run any artifacts. IG doesn't have one released yet, however next season its IG will have a Windbreaker on it, kind of troll. I'm not going to use it for Wars. The Life Taker is really good. You can farm that from the Bestial dungeon. No, not Bestial dungeon. In First Light from a monkey boss. It's on a floating rock. Just look it up on YouTube. You'll be able to find him. take a group with you. It's not many people doing it these days, depending on what server you're on, Dallas or Sutek. But yeah, you're looking to be running plague crits on both. It's the meta right now. Plague crits is super strong. It's reducing their healing, and it's also messing over healers' amount they can heal their enemy. It's really good. Get it on every weapon. Don't have to. Again, a Vise perk, Deadly Frost. You can literally have them on either way. You can have Deadly Frost and close underneath 4 here. It's just the cooldown you're really looking for. This gives 15%. That's great. Really good. Super good in wars. Super good in wars. For VGG, for heavies, mediums, this is, I think, Abyss. Keen. Everyone loves Keen. You know, you're going to proc this more often. You're going to heal yourself more often. The VG tree, if you actually read it, has a lot of things that scale with critting, and Keen's the best thing for critting. Better over Vicious. And Petrifying Scream, no brainer. Just so strong. Always so strong. You can go Orb. Orb will only proc off one person though. You hit 5 people, Orb will only proc 1. You hit 5 people with a Scream, you're putting disease on 5. That's the way I look at it. Scream is better, IMO. And you need a good amount of people running Orb in an army, I believe personally. Heart runes, can't go wrong. Vines. Vines is always best. I think that's a Genesis drop, no idea. Get to 700. The gear skill difference doesn't make much from 65 to 700. Complete preference, you don't have the things to do it. Jewelry, Ank's always the safest, the best option. Get Ank. Until they nerf it again, Ank is best for heavies. Chuck Stem Recovery on the bottom. It will save your life in clumps. That'd be the perk you add. Jewelry, Petrifying Heart, I think is the best. Hardy is a must-have, you have to have it in your ring. Keen again, more crits, better for the Void Gullet, better for plague crits. Helps you out. Just good. Gypsum Kiln, you can make this one. Charcoal, I think it's nice. Fortifying Toast, yeah. You get 20% fortify for 3 seconds. Doesn't sound like much, but might help you, might save you. Refreshing, it's just a free spot for refreshing. I think Nibble's really strong right now. Good spot. You can also go regenerating or any other perks you feel comfortable with. This is a makeshift, make your own sort of build for Earring. You choose what you like, but these are good perks. There is dead perks, but there's no point going into them. You can also make yourself a free pair of heavy boots at the Gypsum Kiln. I believe they're called Stone Soul. They have refreshing, Shirk Fort, and health. That's completely fine for a free piece. That's 2 free pieces you get right there. Go for it. Now for Consumes of Wars, I think just pretty much always keeping it like this. You'll have health pots here, regen serums here. You can go Oak, you can go Gem Stars, depending where you're playing, who you're versing. You can go Fire Pots, you can go Arcana Pots for Deados. Preference up to you. Then obviously keep the space free for Cleanse. You want Cleanse. Buy Haste when you can. Hasting definitely helps get on the point faster. You're a heavy, your job is on the point. Get to that fucking point, save the point. One thing you can do is, obviously, because I'm a hoarder, look at this shit bro, I got shit everywhere. Type Haste into here, and you'll always see your Haste button there. It does suck at the start, because if you drink them all, then it doesn't exist, or if, like, you're swapping stuff around. But it's going to help you for late game, for when the war is like really busy, and you need a Haste bot. It's right there. It'll show over everything else. You shouldn't really need to use anything else other than your Haste in here. Everything else should be on your person. Alright, now for attributes, if you're playing heavy Void Plate, you can get away with 250. Ideally, 300 is best if you're sort of just figuring out how to play a bomb. If you're running Mag Gloves, go full 350 con. Go full 350 con and chuck a bit in focus. I think 50 is good. You can go 100 if you want, if you're more of a focus person, but at the end of the day, you just fill it out for how you like it. Higher con, higher chance of survivability, depending on your playstyle. But ideally, what I'm looking at these days, or Matt, I always like getting 50 focus if I can, just because this is a free divine. I believe it still does scale with Ank, don't quote me on that, so that's a bigger heal. You have divine on Ank, so it's like 20% incoming healing. It's great for when your healers are topping you up, they love it, you love it. Now Magnify will be the fucking death of me, but I'll just pretty much tell you roughly what you want. If you want to go full, Mag Gloves heavy, 350 here, focus here, and just dump the rest to 200 or whatever is here. That's fine for Mag Gloves. For Void Darkplate, you go 300 con, 50 focus, and put the rest in the int. Makes you a bit more stronger as well, do a little bit more damage. 2 of those options, all for you. You can go 100 focus if you're really wanting that mana regen, because 20% max mana, 20% mana regen, it's nice. You slightly notice it. Now for consumes, make sure you're eating this food, because you definitely will be running out of mana constantly. Energizing hearty meals, really good. You eat one of these, eat your Desert Sunrise, get your con food, your banana parfait, and obviously your honing stone, because you're going to get weakened all the time. For rune glasses, I reckon, and splats, just go higher go higher early. If you have the main things which is going to be killing you, which is slash conditioning, then you're pretty much protecting yourself with 2 or 3 of those. You can pretty much just have it 5%, you know. You'll take a bit more damage from obviously bows and hammers, but majority of the damage in the game right now, it's slash. And then you're covering yourself with 15% elemental from obviously anything else that exists. If people are running a 50-50 split, you're gonna counter 15% of that split. Seems good to me. Again, it's preference. Figure out what's killing you, build against it. And I think that's pretty much it. Just pretty much your skill tree. Pretty standard skill trees for VGIG build. Pretty much for perks wise, this one, pretty much you're looking at one of these. You don't need to be taking any of these. You can get this one if you have a lot of points in Ice Tempest, but not many people do. But this is generally how I like to spec myself for wars. Yeah, pretty much how I go. You can go this one if you like. It's not too bad if you find yourself blocking up the IG. I don't. I forget all the time. I think this one's a little bit of a dead perk, and this one's also a dead perk. But yeah, the biggest one that I'd think is this one, getting Heavy Freeze. That allows you to actually stun people. If you're not stunning people, it's probably because you don't have this. And then for your Void Gauntlet, you're generally looking at a tree like this. You can drop or pick these 2 up, swap them out with each other. I sort of like this one because it always constantly procs. Everyone sort of has debuffs on them. But yeah, this is what you generally be looking at for your VG tree. Yeah, but other than that, it's pretty much just a quick little guide, heavy VGIG. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, just let me know, and I'm sure I can make another video. Alright, bye.